Most stories begin with greatness, heroes, victories, legends. But real warrior stories don't begin there. They begin in silence, surrounded by doubt, and buried under the weight of limitations. Everyone has something inside them whispering, "Stop! This is too much. You've gone far enough." But limits don't appear to protect you. Limits appear to test you. The first struggle, when you start training, everything feels impossible. Every rep is heavy, every run burns, every loss stings. Your mind tells you to stop, even before your muscles do. It convinces you that good enough is acceptable, that trying again isn't worth it, that effort is too expensive. But that's the trap. Limits don't stop your body, they stop your spirit. Why warriors push? There's a reason warriors keep going long after comfort fades. Not because they enjoy pain, but because they understand what's on the other side of it. Comfort builds nothing. Challenge builds everything. A warrior pushes not to prove they are strong, but to discover how strong they can become. The wall. Everyone hits the wall eventually. The wall of fatigue, the wall of fear, the wall of failure. The weak stop there because they believe the wall is final. But the truth is simple. Walls are not the end. They are checkpoints on the way to power. You are not meant to turn around at the wall. You are meant to climb it, break it, or blast straight through it. The battle nobody sees. The hardest fights are never in the arena. They're not under bright lights or roaring crowds. They happen alone, early in the morning, or late at night, when no one is watching. That's where limits tighten their grip. That's where most people quit, not because they are weak, but because they never learned the secret. Strength does not come from winning. Strength comes from continuing after losing. The 1% rule. Greatness isn't built in one day. It isn't built in one battle. It's built in small, quiet victories. One more rep, one more page, one more punch, one more step forward when everything hurts. The 1% you add today becomes 10% next week and 100% next month. That is transformation. That is evolution. That is how warriors push past limits. Pain and adaptation. Pain doesn't exist to stop you. Pain exists to signal growth. Your muscles adapt. Your mind adapts. Your spirit adapts. If nothing hurts, nothing changes. If nothing is challenged, nothing evolves. A warrior understands this. Limits are not broken by comfort. Limits are broken by resistance. This is the moment that separates ordinary from legendary. Because at that exact moment, a choice appears. Quit or push just 1 second longer. Most quit. Warriors don't. Not because they're fearless, but because they've made peace with pain. They know pushing hurts, but quitting hurts worse. The breakthrough. Then one day, without warning, something shifts. The punch lands cleaner. The sprint feels lighter. The bar moves faster. The mind quiets. And suddenly, the wall that once felt unbreakable cracks. This is the reward. Not trophies, not applause, but the realization that the version of you from yesterday is no longer strong enough to stand beside the version of you today. A force that recognizes the truth. There is always another level, always another form, always another limit waiting to be broken. Strength is infinite, not because the body can grow forever, but because the spirit refuses to stop. The warrior's path. Most people search for an easier life. Warriors search for a stronger self. They know the path won't get easier. The path gets harder because they get stronger. But that is the beauty of the journey. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without challenge, there is no transformation. Without limits, there is no reason to push. Final words. So if you feel tired, good. If you feel pain, good. If you feel like giving up, good. That means you're close. Closer than you've ever been. Because limits break at the edge of exhaustion. Push one more minute. Push one more rep. Push one more decision that your old self would have run from. Do that and you will discover the truth. Limits are not barriers. They are invitations. Invitations to evolve. Invitations to awaken. Invitations to become who you were always meant to be. Push past your limits and become the warrior you were born to be.
After the breakthrough, when a warrior breaks a limit for the first time, something unexpected happens. Most think the battle ends there. Most think the journey becomes easier after victory. But true warriors learn the truth. Breaking one limit only reveals the next one. Progress isn't a straight ladder. It's a never-ending staircase. And every step demands more strength than the last. Week after week, expecting new strength to rise the same way it did before. But nothing changes. Punches feel the same. Speed feels the same. Endurance feels stuck. No matter how hard the warrior pushes, the needle refuses to move. This is the plateau. And the plateau is where most dreams die. Not from defeat, but from boredom, from frustration, from the silent belief that maybe this is as far as they can go. Why limits fight back? Limits don't like being broken. They don't shatter quietly. They cling to you, trying to pull you back into comfort. The body resists. The mind resists even harder. Every instinct begs you to return to easier fights. But warriors don't train for easy fights. Warriors train for impossible ones. Adaptation. Strength rarely grows during the battle. It grows in the aftermath, after the sweat, after the soreness, after the body rebuilds itself. Adaptation is invisible to the eye, but undeniable to the spirit. You don't feel stronger day to day. You only feel stronger when you compare yourself to who you used to be. That gap, that quiet transformation, is proof that limits are not solid walls. They are doors waiting to be forced open. The second wall. Eventually, the warrior hits a new wall, one harder than the first. This wall does not speak in doubt. It speaks in reason. You've proven enough. You don't need to go further. No one else would push this hard. This is a more dangerous enemy because it sounds logical, because it sounds safe, because it sounds like victory. But warriors don't chase the approval of others. Warriors chase the strongest version of themselves. The choice. At the second wall, the warrior faces a choice. Accept greatness or chase transcendence. Greatness is given to many, but transcendence belongs only to those willing to sacrifice comfort, certainty, and pride. To push past this wall, a new kind of strength is required. Not physical, but mental. Not muscle, but identity. Identity of a limit breaker. Limits are not broken by people who try. They are broken by people who become the kind of warrior who refuses to stop. There is a difference between someone who trains and someone who was born to evolve. The moment you decide who you will be is the moment your next transformation begins. Music intensifies. Stronger percussion. Soft choir. Embracing the struggle. Struggle is not a curse. Struggle is a mirror. It reflects the fighter within you. Without struggle, there is no edge. Without edge, there is no adaptation. Without adaptation, there is no evolution. Everything strong in nature exists because something fought to shape it. Mountains are carved by storms. Steel is forged by fire. Warriors are built through trials. Every warrior eventually reaches a point where everything hurts, where breathing takes effort, where the legs shake, where the heart pounds like it's trying to escape the chest. This is the breaking point, and it is sacred. Most people think the breaking point is the signal to stop, but for a warrior, the breaking point is the signal that the real training has finally begun, because limits don't show up early. Limits wait until you're exhausted, until you're weak, until you're doubting. Then they strike. Scene 10. One more. At the breaking point, the warrior learns the true secret. There is always one more rep, one more round, one more sprint, one more strike, one more second of focus, one more breath. It is the one more that breaks the limit, not the 100 that came before it. Climax, music, transcendence. Then it happens. The warrior pushes past the breaking point, past exhaustion, past doubt, past the grip of fear and reason, and something wakes up. Something ancient, something primal, something that was always there, waiting for this exact moment. Not strength, not speed, not technique, but spirit. Spirit powerful enough to bend the body. Spirit fierce enough to silence the mind. Spirit stubborn enough to break the limit. This is transcendence, the birth of a limit breaker. Beyond victory. Most think the reward for breaking limits is strength, but that is only the surface. The real reward is knowledge. The knowledge that boundaries are illusions, that progress never ends, that the warrior you become today will not be strong enough to stand beside the warrior you become tomorrow. Limits are not finish lines. They are invitations. Invitations to grow. Invitations to rise. Invitations to evolve. Push past your limits, not once but again and again, until the world stops recognizing you and begins recognizing the warrior you are meant to become.